The good thing about buying mint at Whole Foods is that they make the sprigs basically for you. But I don't know how much mint we actually need here because I'm gonna do a bunch of smashes, so. All right, I think that's enough. Today we're gonna be talking about a cocktail called a smash. The smash is a drink that I'm pretty sure predates the modern sour. It was kind of developed around 1830, or at least the term sour didn't exist for this type of cocktail when it was created. And really, if you take a look at the history of cocktails, you know, cocktails started with a drink called a sling. And the sling was a drink that incorporated sugar and water into whatever spirit you were having to proof down the spirit. The sugar was gonna sweeten it and kind of even out the rough flavor profiles of early spirits. And then came the bittered sling, later the whiskey cocktail, and then old fashioned came out of. But the sling itself, if you look at the family tree, gave birth to a whole nother wing of cocktails that started with the mint julep and then went to the smash and then the cobbler later. So that very first cocktail broke off into two branches of cocktail, one that were more aromatic and stirred and ones that later incorporated fruit and were kind of more watered down with sugar. The mint julep being closest to the original sling. And then the smash is basically just a julep with fruit. Today we're going to be making 3 different juleps. The very first recipe that we're going to be doing is the Jerry Thomas recipe that was first published in the Bon Vivant's Guide of 1862, and I believe it is the very first time that smash was in print that we know of. The second one's just gonna be my favorite smash that I've already made on this channel before. And then the third one's gonna be from the Nomad Hotel. Leo Robiczek created one called the Madison Park Smash. I haven't tasted yet. It looks amazing, and it's a 2-person drink. It's a large format cocktail. Smashes are pretty simple. I have the shaker here. I don't need it yet. I did forget what I do need, so I'm gonna go get it. And that is a julep chalice. We're gonna take 6 to 8 mint leaves, put them in the bottom of our chalice here, and then we're gonna take a lemon, and we're just gonna cut wedges, of which I'm going to use 4. And we're gonna put them peel side down, because when we muddle this, we wanna make sure that we're expressing the oil from the peel, but not technically muddling the peel to get the bitter elements out of it. And then we're also pressing the mint, but not shredding the mint. The other thing we wanna do here is add a sugar cube. Something that looks like it's going to balance all that citrus. And we are going to muddle this. You want to make sure to break up the sugar. I'm using Demerara sugar, but if you just have white sugar, that'll do too. And then we are going to add 2 ounces of brandy or cognac. We're going to do the Pierre Ferrand 1840 for this one. Throw that in there as well. Give me 1 sec. I'm gonna go get my actual official scoop. I know where it is too. Maybe don't do a video where you have to taste like 9 highballs before you have to do intricate work. Not that this is that intricate, but still. Okay, so we're just gonna put in a little pebble ice, like so. Just like we would a mint julep, and then we are going to stir it, and you wanna make sure to give it a pretty good stir because you wanna incorporate the sugar and the citrus together along with the mint oils. And then the last thing we need to do is give it a straw and a mint sprig. Grab a nice big bouquet of mint. Is that big enough? Give it the old slappy poo. Give it the crushy pants. Make sure you've nicely released those oils. And stick it in like so. Voila. You want to make sure that you stick it right where the straw is so that you smell it as you sip. And then like another pro move with one of these things is if you have a napkin, you can actually fold the napkin around here and tie it so that your little tootsies don't get, or your tootsies, your feet, your little mitts, I guess, your little mitts don't get cold when you drink it, if that's important to you. Like when I do this at a bar for customers, I always do that. Fantastic, let me tell you. Nice and tart, balanced out by the sugar, and then you get a lot of those molasses notes that you usually get from Demerara. On top of that, you get the barrel notes from the brandy. It's kind of nice, vibrant sort of barrel notes from the brandy. You know, brandy is a grape spirit. It also has some dark fruit, some apple pear, kind of in its flavor profile. I will say though, this is like the way it would have been made per the Jerry Thomas guide. It would have been nice to have given it a shake. You would have gotten a little bit more balance out of it. Like it's not Like the sugar's not fully dissolved, but what's nice about this drink is that it will evolve over time. So as you drink it and it melts and the ABV goes down, the sugar is also gonna combine into it even more, and it's gonna make it a little sweeter and a little sweeter and a little sweeter till the very end. The Jerry Thomas Smash. So next up is my favorite version of the Smash. This is the one that I used to make at Kohl's when I was behind the bar. It is my favorite way to do it. And this one shows a little modern technique that just improves upon some of the downsides of the classic recipe. If you're gonna do the classic recipe, I used a sugar cube, but you can also use like a bar spoon of loose sugar if you want. Demerara sugar is still gonna take a while to dissolve though. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna use a tin this time, and we are going to put in, 6 to 8 mint leaves again. Or you can do 10, depending on how minty you want it to be, and the size of the leaves, I guess. And then we're gonna do the wedges as well. We'll do 4 again. We're gonna take 1 sugar cube, same as last time. But I'm gonna use white sugar this time, which is gonna be a little bit sharper on the palate and a little more, I guess, like neutral sweet in flavor.
More refined, you might say?
Yes. And then we are going to add 1/2 ounce of simple syrup to this as well. And what the simple syrup is going to do is going to give it immediate balance when we muddle lemons. But the sugar cube is also going to put it on a time release. And so what you have is about 3/4 of an ounce of sugar in here, balancing out about 1 ounce, 3/4 of an ounce to 1 ounce of lemon juice. And that's what we're looking for. So we're going to just take our muddler again, and we're going to do it the same way. Muddle with the peels down so that you're releasing all of the juice and the oils of the peels, but not much of the bitterness. You're also trying to make sure that you're muddling that sugar cube down, and then of course expressing the oils from the mint all at the same time. And then we're going to use bourbon. This time I like to do a higher proof bourbon. You can also use rye or just American whiskey, corn whiskey, anything you want. It all goes well in this. We're basically making a boozy lemonade. That's what this essentially is, a boozy, minty lemonade. And then we're just gonna do 2 ounces here of our 100 proof bonded bourbon. All we're gonna do here is put a skosh of pebble in here to give it immediate dilution and a little bit of chill, but not a lot of dilution because it will be sitting on pebble ice. I like to have a chilled glass for this as well. This is also going to help the ice stay cold for longer in the drink as you drink it. Okay. Basically, we're just going to shake until we don't hear the ice anymore, or at least most of it is melted. And this is going to shred the mint a little bit as well, but that's okay. I like it that way. And we're just gonna hit this up with more pebble. Give it a straw, and of course give it a nice big mint bouquet. Slappy poo, crushy pants. Ah! I exploded it. I'm putting that all back in my drink. I don't care. The more ice, the better. Let's give it a taste. So, I've got more immediate balance, still nice and tart. Very minty. The mint has been released a lot more. A lot of people don't like the shredded mint in here, but I really don't mind it. And I don't find that I get very many like pieces of mint in my mouth. It doesn't shred down that small because we're not using cubed ice, it's just pebble ice. And the 100 proof bourbon gives it a more prominent bourbon flavor. You get a lot more of those like caramel kind of notes to it. There's maple notes to it on top of a little bit of the astringency from the oak. And it's just a nicely balanced cocktail. Again, as it sits and dilutes, the sugar will dissolve more into the liquid and it will get a little bit sweeter and a little bit sweeter. And you'll have a nice little sugar pop on the back end of this right as you drink it. Some people say like, oh, that's a mark of a non-balanced cocktail. But for me, if you're drinking that, you get a little sugar pop at the end. What does that do? It helps your brain release some dopamine. It makes you very happy and it leads you to your next drink. So there is my favorite smash recipe. This next cocktail is gonna actually take a little doing. So I gotta like cut some citrus rounds. It's called the Madison Park Smash, created by Leo Robitzchek at the Nomad Hotel in New York City. A drink I've been meaning to do for a really long time now. This sucks. It needs to be, it's got to be sharp and remind me. I think this is enough actually though. Okay, so we're gonna start with a large format glass. And we're gonna take all the rest of the mint that we have. We wanna take a good amount of mint. We're gonna slap it really hard. Spank it like your daddy used to spank you. And then throw it into the glass like so. Make sure you've released all of those oils. Next, we're gonna prepare the cocktail, put all this lemon trash aside. Now, we are gonna do quite a bit of juice here. Where's my user? Where is my user? There's, oh, they're all up in here. All right, so let's juice some lemon. Okay, we're gonna do actually only in the big tin here, and we're actually gonna use 2 big tins, 4 ounces of Combier orange liqueur, 4 ounces of Cognac, 3 ounces of lemon juice, 1 ounce of 2-to-1 Demerara syrup. We're gonna take this glass, we're gonna add pebble ice to it. I hope this glass has enough volume. And you don't have to do this, it's optional, but I'm gonna do it. What we wanna do here is stick lemon slices, I'm not sure how many we will need, throughout the glass like so. Add a little more to keep it in place. So you've got like a ring of lemon slices. And we're gonna give this what's called a roll, which is we're rolling it from one to the other. And if you want, you can even use this as a way to practice tossing, which will aerate the ingredients as it mixes it. And don't pour it on yourself like I just did. And then we're just going to pour this into the glass. Top it with ice. Hit this up with some Angostura Bitters on top, just to kind of coat the top. Top with more pebble ice. And garnish with a mint sprig. And here we have the Madison Park Smash. Look at that, it's a thing of beauty. Let's try it out. Wow, that is rich and vibrant. You know, I had the feeling that a cup of booze with 3 ounces plus an ounce, so that's 4, so that's a half a cup of lemon juice and the 2-to-1 Demerara syrup was going to make this too boozy, but it is actually very nicely balanced. It doesn't have much of a kick, and that also, that higher booze content kind of lends to the fact that it's on pebble ice. It's going to really dilute a lot quicker. It is a thing of beauty. There's a lot of mint in there. The Angostura Bitters is eventually going to combine into the drink as it dilutes, and you're going to get a lot of those spice notes. But the combination of Cognac and orange liqueur with lemon juice and then that Demerara syrup is really nicely balanced. It is a little bit on the sweet side, but as it dilutes, that sweetness is going to come down. And of course, the ABV is also going to come down. So there it is, guys, the Madison Park Smash.